coming here, VIP Boxing, down at the Oldham Boxing Personal Development Centre.
Oldham Boxing Personal Development Centre.
And I've been here many times. It's a beautiful, beautiful gym. And Eric, it seems I'm coming here more and more often because the young lad next to you, Kyle, he keeps winning.
He can't stop winning. He's on the roller coaster at the moment with his career, and keeps winning, keeps kind of performing, which is more important. It's about performing rather than winning. Well, and he keeps performing. So yeah.
Well, I'm just going to briefly, because he doesn't like talking about everything that he's achieved, but even though it's a fairly long career, you're 14 years old when you walked through the doors and you met Eric and your boxing career started here, but there's been a lot of times out. You had a scar on your arm there, you got badly injured when you were 17, you managed to come back from that, and in your first season coming back from that, you won the developments, didn't you?
Yeah.
Then you decided to join the Marines, which kept you out of boxing again for about another 18 months. And by accident, how did that happen when you were in the Marines, when you decided to take it up again?
I just got an offer, got an opportunity to box full time for a very small period, which that's all it would have been, hence I hadn't done so well, and I just took the opportunity, and I'm here now. And
again, like I say, 8 years, so 4 years you've not boxed, so in those 8 years, 4 years competing, you've had 21 fights, 20 victories, you've won 2 national titles, you've won a GB title, a Tri-Nation title, whichever way you want to look at it. You're now on the England squad, and managed to avenge, because your first fight, your only ever loss, was your debut, wasn't it? That's and you managed to avenge that twice.
May I add, I was in his corner. We would have lost it.
Phenomenal, absolutely. I remember first meeting you, and you were winning the Northwest regions in, was it 2019? Was it
2021?
21 was it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was it? Yeah. I didn't know if it was just before or just after lockdown.
Just after.
But I couldn't believe. I think you entered that tournament with about 6 fights under your belt, 7 fights under your belt, and I didn't think someone could box that well. But then I remembered there was a young kid who was just turned pro, who learned his career here, and he was a phenomenal fighter, the Ghost. And obviously you're like a big version of him, because you're a phenomenal mover.
Yeah, like I say, it's harder at a little bit harder being at light heavyweight. Hopefully soon be at super again, but yeah, it's a little bit more difficult.
Well, let's go back to then. You finished, you passed out as a Royal Marine.
Yeah.
And then you went on placement or something for 6 months?
Yeah, so went on duties, doing whatever it was, and then that was about a 4 or 5 month period, and then I joined the squad for boxing in January, and then been boxing since with the Royal Navy and of course under Eric.
So you ended up winning the combined services, which is like winning an area regional title. Which meant you entered into the pre-quarters, and I spoke to you just before you were training down with Eric down at Ant Croller's place, weren't you?
Yeah.
Doing some sparring there, and I wish you all the best. And you only went on and won, and then I caught up with you just after you'd won it. I think it was about 3 or 4 months ago, and you was talking about getting assessed for England and preparing for the GBs, and you got on England and you won the Tri-Nations. So
in style, I'm sure you'll put some of the fights on.
I've not seen it. I've not seen it.
You can get it's all online. So on Scotland Boxing. So
And you beat a Welsh kid, Wales #1 and Scotland #1.
It was Thingy's son he beat. What's he called now? Alex Arthur.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, Alex Arthur's son.
I went up to Scotland. Do you remember when young Steve Foster fought Alex Arthur?
Yeah. So he's good, really well prepared, very good. Southpaw, first time boxed Southpaw on it as well.
Yeah.
Southpaw, well trained, well skilled.
Very fit as well.
Strong, big. He's not 8 kilos, but he was big, strong Southpaw.
Just going back to that then, you went in at 80 kilos because we'd heard the rumour that 75 was going to be took away, and you weren't sure where, or was it just because it came so late and you couldn't make 75? What was the reason?
Yeah, I was around. Obviously, after marine training, I was about 86 kilos. And
Yeah.
Probably weren't. Yeah, so I just was like, yeah, there's no chance of getting that much weight off. So I just went at 80, and now I've got to a point where obviously I just live the life, and everything I do in my life revolves around boxing. And you know, Eric sees that, and Eric does the same for me back. So now it's like struggling to keep the weight on. You know, it's like my body's trying to be 75 in such a thing. You know, you can weigh me in the morning, I'll be 78 and a half. You know,
So for you, if that is in the major tournaments still, or will be in the future, we're not sure yet.
No, I've had conversations about it, and obviously other sports should be talked about wrestling. So wrestling, they don't have a culture of boiling down. In amateur wrestling and Greco wrestling, Olympic wrestling, they build up to the weight. It's different, so they're stronger, often stronger. So I know some of the Eastern European countries, they walk around at the weight. They don't do this boiling down stuff. You know, so.
Eric, you know, when because obviously you're a very successful amateur and you box all over the world.
No.
Did you take a lot from then when you were watching the way? Because we weren't the best internationally, were we?
We were catching up. I was there before the whole lottery stuff came in, so it was very. I went to World Championships on the 2 week training camp. Do you know what I mean? Meeting Cubans, East Germans.
Is that why we had the Cuban music playing today?
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, you know, Soviet Union. We were when you look back now, how ill prepared we were for going into some of them competitions. It was scary, really.
But you had your unique style, and
Yeah,
again, we can see this with Kyle. You know, this movement, proper boxing, isn't it?
No, not proper. I mean, it wasn't instilled in us, and you know what I'm saying. You know, I teach him the way I should have been taught.
Yeah.
I think potentially, and obviously, every day is a learning day. We observe, kind of look, you know, been around many gyms.
But you have lots of people come here and stay here and work with you from all different countries. I've been down here when the Australian team was down here. And you've had all that. So do you take a lot from the way different countries coach? You know, and you look at the way they coach and think, oh, I like that.
Yeah,
and you try and
listen. Every day is a learning day for me, and you know, anyone who says they're expert is telling lies. It's stupid. Every day should be a learning day.
Yeah.
I hope I'm going to learn something new. I wish every day, whether it's some talk to someone, reading or whatever, and I'll never be surprised.
But is it nice sometimes just to be reminded of things as well? You know, because you've been around a long time, so you've seen things that there's been a lot of fads in boxing.
Yeah, the quote, and I get it for you. And it's about the amateur. The amateur tries to make things complicated to impress people. The master just masters a few fundamentals.
Well, they say the master is the man who failed 1,000 times.
Yeah, so it's just kind of, and it's easy now to get distracted with little fads and stuff. And I mentioned it before, having a philosophy and sticking to your philosophy. Do you know what I mean? And you know, regardless.
Well, Kyle was talking about that before, weren't you, Kyle? You were saying, like, you know, he's not just a boxing coach for you. He's a bit of a life mentor for you as well, isn't he?
well, I'm joking. Yeah, 100%. I'd say I don't have my dad, like I said before. He's a father figure to me, and he's always been there. He's always looking out for me, and you know, all I do is give 100% back.
I know you know you with the Royal Marines now and everything there, and I'm hopefully going to be on the GB squad and everything. But you know, Eric is your first coach. He'll probably be your last coach as well, won't he?
Yeah, 100%. We've had these conversations, and not done with the amateur game yet. Got a lot of experience to gain and a lot of learning to do.
Well, score that you have, because 21 fights and that's to be where you are is amazing. So you're still officially a novice, isn't it?
Yeah, really.
You know,
you've got a lot to learn.
What are your ambitions and what are your plans for the future, mate?
Being better than yesterday. That's it.
I like that. Yeah.
That's all I aim for, and
just move forward.
If one day I give the sport up, as long as I can say I give it everything, I'll be happy.
And where would you like to be then? You know, just say it's just a 2-year plan. Would you like to, like say, as you said before, get on that GB squad and then box internationally all over the world?
straight away my ambitions to get on GB, and I'm determined to do that. That's what I need to get to, and then looking at the bigger picture, Commonwealth Games and Olympics.
Will you be looking to retain your ABA title this year, or will you be going in at 75 if it's still there?
If it's still there, and I have the choice, and I'd like to do 75.
Be a two-weight champion.
We'll
But it's not down to you, is it? Really, it's down to the experts. It's down to the people, down to the nutritionists. It's down to the the coaches and stuff like that. People who've got a lot of experience in this, who've seen it. So we'll see. We'll take advice where we can. Do you know what I mean on that one? But like I say, he's growing as well. So
What would you say when he walked in as a 14-year-old kid?
It was really quiet. I mean, as a 14-year-old, like I say, you mentioned the mentor. We run a mentoring project from here called We Move. We run a mentoring project, so we've all been mentored. The minute you walk through a boxing gym, you're getting mentored. My father died when I was 3. I had no one around me, so you found yourself older boys in the gym, heroes in the gym and stuff like that. And they you look at them like,
Well, who was your first boxing hero?
There's a kid called in the gym, and he was a mixed race kid. When you weren't many black kids, when I was from Langley, a kid called Les Carter.
Yeah.
He was a really exceptional boxer. Did really well on the school boards and stuff like that and everything. But yeah, he was looked up to him.
Kyle, who was your first boxing when you walked into this place? Who you looked up to and thought, God, I'd love to be
It's
like
obviously going to be Will Carley, innit?
Yeah. The ghost.
Just in terms of boxing ability, I used to do stuff, and you'd have your gob on the floor at times. The way he used to move and so quick.
Hit hard as well. Hit hard, move.
Yeah.
And I could see you working on that today as well. Is there anything that you've been working on just recently that you're adding to your game now?
Just at the moment, I just think we're going to be boxing whilst at 80, so we're training for 80 kilos, where a lot of them are going to be bigger.
You kept whispering in his ear there, weren't you?
Yeah.
When you was nibbling his ear as well. You kept whispering in his ear, I'm a big guy, I'm a big guy.
They're going to be bigger, taller physically. Yeah. So you've got to be looking at certain things, up jabbing and stuff like that and stuff, and little raids we're going to go in. Not too much, do you know what I mean? But feet, lateral movement, and potentially staying in that pocket, and waist movement to avoid the shots and stuff like that.
You're supposed to be, this is your holidays. You're supposed to be having time off.
No, don't do time off. Can't in this sport.
There's the balance, you know what I mean? Rest is important as well, like you say, but you can rest different parts of your body, do you know what I mean? You can train your mind, rest your body. You know what I mean? Train your body, rest your mind.
And when I bumped into you last time, you were down at Ant Croller's gym and you were moving around with some of the lads there. Has Eric been taking you to some other pros gyms? Have you been moving around with anyone?
Yeah.
And if you have, who?
Well, the most notable would be Ben Whitaker. Did quite a lot of rounds with me, invited me a lot. Top fighter and a top person, very humble, which doesn't get credit for. But
you wouldn't
really
expect
nice
that, but I've heard good things about him as well, mate.
Yeah, he's done.
But a super talent.
We've known Ben, and like I said, we've known Ben and his dad's, since the schoolboy days. So we're on the circuit with him. Grew up with
the good one was the ABA story as well, because I was the same age as Will. I watched Ben win his first ABA title with Will Carley,
right.
And he was there for mine and watched me win my
Didn't he beat
one.
Lyndon Arthur in the final that year, 2016?
No,
Jordan Reynolds.
Was it Jordan Reynolds?
Yeah. But like you say, you were there for his and he was there for yours, wasn't he? So
yeah.
Well, did he win 3? I think he won 3, didn't he? 2 was it? 2. I'm sure one of them was against Lyndon though. Because Lyndon got to the final twice, didn't he?
Yeah, don't think it was Lyndon. Don't think he's boxed Lyndon.
No, not
at all. But yeah, things are moving on because keep moving.
Going forward, what's the plans then in your amateur career? Have you got lined up? You're on the England squad now. Are they lining you up with any competitions, or do you have to wait now until the nationals till next year?
Yeah, so I've got a lot on at the minute. End of this month, I've got a GB assessment. Hopefully that goes well, and then following that, I'll going to box on the 23rd to the 29th of September on an England tournament in a box cup in Spain, in Madrid. Yeah.
And this is another thing as well. People don't realise how hard this sport is, because I know it's a physical sport, but you've got to live as well. And you've not really got much support behind you, have you? sponsors wise?
No.
You've got one sponsor on you, telling me.
Yeah, so Robert Harrison of Robert Harrison Construction.
Yeah.
He's followed me since my first development national title, and he's always helped where he can. So, and now he's coming on as like a full-time sponsor now.
That'd be good if you can get a few more on as well.
Yeah.
Make the journey a little bit easier.
Definitely.
Still going to be hard, but hopefully a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And if you do get on the GB club, then maybe there's a bit of funding there as well.
Yeah.
So, but listen, it's always a pleasure. And you know what's nice about today? I was getting to see how all the magic happens, and there's a lot of magic and that music. The Cuban dancing, I just expected your big flag up there, you know, with the Royal Marines. Is that your divisional squad, or is that?
So that's just the whole Royal Marines. The colours all represent something. So like the blues for the navy, the sea. The gold, old gold is the old colours used to wear. The red is like the old infantry. You remember like the old soldiers, and then infantry green were just. For again.
And how are you finding it there now? You settled in. You've been there 18 months now, 2 years, is it?
Well,
I
wish I had enough time. I do love the lads in the corps, and I wish I had enough time to live that life. But I'm just boxing full time, and with boxing you've got to dedicate yourself all to that. So I've not really done much soldiering at all, to be honest. But hopefully I'm representing the lads well, and they're happy for me. So. Right.
Well, listen. Long may it continue. It seems. Everything you say to me comes true. So is it anything that's in there? Are you going to win this tournament over in Spain then?
Yeah, of course, 100%.
Come back with a gold again?
100%. Representing my country, doing everyone proud.
Right, well you're always doing yourself proud, mate. Eric, he's always doing this proud, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, he's a perfect role model, and like a few of the lads have gone off and have inquired about joining the Marines now. So that's what it's all about, kind of people inspiring people, particularly young people.
And this place is brilliant for the community, because there's a right mixed bag of people that are in here, aren't they? All blending well together, all mixed well together, all work well together.
You've come at an interesting time, obviously, with what's happened.
Silly riots that are going on.
And stuff like that, and the lockdown of the town centre. We're the only kind of facility which is open in Oldham tonight. Everyone's decided to close. I don't know why.
You come to the boxing gym, you'll see me sat with a black man, loads of Muslims.
Me black?
We're all different.
I identify as a...
Right, well listen, we'll leave it on that. But always a pleasure, and it's nice to see how the magic happens. And I'm sure you'll come back with that gold from Spain, mate. And hopefully the next time I might be speaking to you, you could be a double ABA champion.
Yeah, hopefully.
And on the GB. Yeah. And that means you might not have to do all those rounds. You might just get put straight into the in the national finals, mate.
Yeah, get a seed.
Listen, see you later, Eric, Kyle.
Cheers,
been a pleasure, mate.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Cheers.
For all boxing info, news, and latest interviews, amateur and pro across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.